and we're back, and I want to talk a little bit about the drawing and how I arrived at all the different shapes that are seen in this drawing. And if you haven't recognized by now, this is Joe Miller. So I have some light. The lighting is coming from the left side, and he's lit on his forehead, and this side is lighter than this side. There's a nice dark that's going to be coming down the side of the face, and down the middle. It's lit a little on this side, but all the shapes that you see here in the drawing are either a dark, a highlight, or a mid-tone, and they're all the shapes that form the face. So everything that I've drawn in has a purpose. It's a dark, a mid-tone, or a highlight. This photograph was taken outside, so some of the highlighted areas are a reflection of the sky. The highlight up on the top of the head has some blue in it that is reflected from the sky, as well as the nose. There'll also be some blue that's found in the hair. I will be laying in a yellow and then a red on top of that, and then I will drop in the blue and just let it disperse out and kind of do its own thing. I won't be mingling around. I'll just drop it in and get out. Because basically what you have is orange with the yellow and red, and then when you drop in a blue, that neutralizes, and we don't want to get mud, so we're going to be get in and get out quickly. So with that being said, I'm going to switch to a 1.5 inch silver black velvet, and I'm going to begin with my yellow. I'm going to be using for the skin tone is Winsor yellow, and I'm going to come over this whole side of the face, and I'm starting on this side, this right side here, and I'm bringing it all the way over the whites of the eyes, and I'm going to concentrate on the face first. I don't want to get into the neck yet because it'll start drying on me, and I won't be able to drop in my blue and have it react the way that I want it to. So this side is lighter, so I'm going to add a little water and just kind of pull the paint over. Now I'm dipping back in and picking up some more Winsor yellow and going over the teeth and everything. The teeth are not stark white. They have flesh that is reflection of the skin tone around them, and plus they're just not, most people's teeth are just not that white. So we're going to go ahead now with Opera Rose and add that right on top of the Winsor yellow, wet into wet. And I'm kind of painting around the really strong highlight on the top of the head. And adding it in, cleaning up my drips as I go, and bringing it on over to the left side. Now I don't want to mingle too much, and I need to go ahead and drop in my blues, and I believe I'm going to be using Cobalt Turquoise Light for my highlight color, and I'm going to come in around the real highly lit area and just kind of mingle it in there, and the tip and the bridge of the nose. And I'm looking for blue and putting it in where I can. And I see some on the bottom of the chin as well. I'm going to let some of this skin tone bleed right into the neck. And give it a place to go. I'm going to be softening this edge just by adding a little bit of water. And I'm going to switch to a smaller brush and check my edges and add a little blue for the hair. So I'm going to be using Cobalt Turquoise Light, and the object is to get rid of as much white as you can as quickly as possible. And I'm going to save a little bit of the white of the paper on this side. And I'm checking my edges. Now I can always clean up my edges after my painting has dried. In fact, the best way to do it is if you have a problem, you get a bloom or you get a hard edge that's unwanted, it's better to let it dry, let your painting dry, and then go back in and soften your edges and clean it up. When it's wet, you're just pushing in water and you're usually going to have more problems. So it's always best to let it dry and then do a cleanup. Unless there's an area like this, and you can just kind of take the tip of your brush and manipulate it a little bit, but you don't want to have any or much water at all on your brush. So I paint by layering, and I have to let each layer dry. So I'm going to stop here, blow it dry, and then we'll come back for our second layer of skin tones.